Homelessness, addiction, crime. Portland has tried everything. More money, more meetings, more plans.
I do not think that we have the public's trust right now. And we desperately need to get it and keep it if we're going to expect them to continue opening up their wallets and their hearts.
Discontent runs deep on the streets, inside city and county offices, and across kitchen tables all over town.
Everybody has an opinion about it, and they all say the same thing. We're wasting money. We're wasting money. This doesn't work. Nothing out there works.
Portland is a city in crisis, and yet just beyond the noise, something different is taking root.
It's bigger than just, housing. It's bigger than just employment. It's giving people a second chance at life.
People who've lived the problem trying to become the solution.
I was good at being homeless. I was good at living in the woods, but I knew I was destined for better things.
Is what's happening here the answer?
This place, there's a magic about this place.
This is what it looks like when a community starts to shift beyond the handout. Homelessness is one of Portland's biggest challenges, visible from almost any angle. But what you can't see are the people working to fix it. For 6 months, we've had rare access inside these gates to a nonprofit that's trying to do what so many say can't be done: turn compassion into results. What started as frustration has grown into a movement, transforming lives and maybe even this city's perspective. This is Cultivate Initiatives. For the next half hour, you'll meet the people proving that purpose, not pity, changes everything. After some of its darkest years, Portland is finding its footing. But for many, the recovery feels slow, and the disappointment still lingers.
Most people I talk to are cynical about it. Well, gosh, they pay the homeless tax. They see what's going on out there, and they see that there's nothing that's changed, right?
For Greg Dufault, it's not just frustration, it's disbelief. He spent his career studying risk and results, and what he's seeing on the streets doesn't add up.
You make a bad investment, you sell it. If you're digging yourself into a hole, quit digging.
Greg still finds plenty that's broken in Portland, but there's one place where he says the investment is paying off, a place he discovered by chance.
It captivated something inside of me. I could see the outcome that was tangible, it was meaningful, and it was something that I had never experienced before.
So, for those of you who this is your first day out, welcome to the best team in Portland.
What Greg found that day wasn't a plan on paper, it was people showing up for each other. A nonprofit called Cultivate Initiatives, where neighbors who've lived on the streets
All right, let's go to work.
now work side by side to lift others up.
It was far beyond putting a Band-Aid on a bullet hole.
We first interviewed Greg in the spring of 2024, 4 months after his first tour of Cultivate's hub in East Portland.
I was astonished by the look on the people's faces. People that you and I wouldn't look at on the street at all, and understand why. We put blinders on. We don't want to see them. They don't want to see us. But they had dignity.
Hello, Sandra.
Hi, Caleb. How are you?
What moved Greg so deeply started small, with a man named Caleb Coder. In 2018, tensions were high in Caleb's neighborhood, with pushback growing over a new shelter nearby. Caleb wanted to change the tone, and he knew what it felt like to live on both sides of that divide.
I had a horse roll over me. When I was 11, I got hooked on Oxycontin and dropped out in 8th grade and moved out, and it was work and a community that grounded me.
So Caleb did something simple. He lit a fire, not a protest or a meeting, just a bucket fire in his side yard. He invited everyone, housed and unhoused, to show up, share food, and talk. What started as a tense conversation turned into connection and planted the idea that would grow into Cultivate Initiatives. A grassroots effort built on the belief that when people feel seen and supported, they can start to rebuild their own lives.
If we want to shift this narrative of who is in and who is out. We need to stop just dishing out all these transactions and really have some transformational conversations.
6 years later, that bucket fire has grown into a full-blown operation that includes workforce development, housing and homemaking, and supportive sheltering.
So Wellness Wednesday, starting with something lighthearted though, man. We just gonna start out with a couple stretches right quick.
Each morning starts with a meeting, part pep talk, part family gathering, led by people who know what it means to survive. Ty Brown is leading things today.
So, man, I appreciate you taking the time to listen to me this morning, though, man. Now let's get out there, get to work around like we usually do.
Less than 2 years ago, Ty was at his breaking point, homeless and struggling with addiction. He says while many organizations saw his record and shut the door, Cultivate opened it.
And it saved my life, though. I say that personally, they saved my life, though, man. Just like I was saying, at a moment, though, when I had not much of anything, man, they gave me a call back, man, for the internship program.
Now he's the one running it.
I'm gonna tell you a little bit about the program.
The internship is where it all starts, designed for anyone ready to take that first step. It's low barrier, hands-on work that comes with a cash payment. $600 for a week of work that helps people build skills and confidence before moving on to that next phase. That could mean outside employment, an apprenticeship, or even a full-time job with Cultivate, complete with benefits, paid time off, and a 401k. Jen Heelan still can't believe she falls into that category.
I did my internship, and I didn't think that. I said, who's going to want me? You know, I mean, I was good at being homeless. I was good at living in the woods, but I knew I was destined for better things.
Jen is now one of the leads on Cultivate's beautification team. They provide what they call compassionate garbage removal services across East Portland and East Multnomah County.
My life has changed, and could not be more diametrically opposed to what it was 3 years ago.
But that change didn't come easy. Before Cultivate, Jen's life looked very different. Back then, Jen was digging through these same dumpsters just to survive. She'd been homeless off and on for 10 years and navigating abuse and addiction since she was a child. What was your drug and when did that start?
I preferred meth. That I started doing when I was 15.
So you started using meth when you were 15?
Uh-huh.
How did that change the trajectory of your life?
Well, in every way.
By the time Jen was 18, she was hooked, in and out of rehab for years. She lived in sheds, trailers, and tents. This was her camp in 2015. A few years later, she got pregnant and gave birth to a boy named Danny. But Jen says she knew her son needed a stable home, so she eventually gave up custody to a relative. After that, she spiraled back into addiction, back to the streets. It would take years before she found her way to Cultivate, and even then, it wasn't easy.
My first month that I worked for Cultivate, it was pretty rough. I had two of my very good friends overdose on me. My mother died, and I was dealing with a man that didn't know how to keep his hands to himself, and just to try to be able to escape, to get to work, that was hell in and of itself.
Did you ever just think, this is too hard, I'm going to give up?
No.
What kept you going?
Because I knew that I was safe here. I knew that having a little scratch in my pocket's never a bad thing. It's never a bad thing. And it kept me safe.
But safety doesn't come easy in this world. Coming up, Jen's comeback story takes a heartbreaking turn.
I'm too stubborn to go home. I'm not ready. I'm just getting my life started.
Oh, Sand Angel.
We meet Todd, a veteran fighting his way back from the streets. And Cultivate faces new financial strain, a growing wait list, and shrinking funds. What happens if you lose a big chunk of that money? Could all this come crumbling down? That's still ahead on Beyond the Handout.
There used to be a nice house right here built. They just took a bulldozer, smashed it down and buried it. So they dug it back up, and now they're rebuilding it.
Todd Yanicki knows these woods well. He used to live here in the Sandy River Delta in an area known as 1,000 Acres. Where was your tent?
My tent was right here, had a big fire pit right here.
Todd is on Cultivate's beautification team now, cleaning up and restoring the very place he once called home. He spent 8 years out here, and as we walk with him, the memories come fast.
They live right over here. That's the 1,000 Acre crew. That's my family.
His job lets him check in and help. He cleans camps and offers the kind of support he once needed.
Well, when you see everybody, just let them know Todd came down here.
I will, man.
Brought JLSU crew. Things are amazing right now. When you go forward like that, you don't want to. I didn't like the society and all that. And I fought my way and I blasted off bunches of times.
Todd still blasts off sometimes. That's the PTSD, the war that never really ended. He served in the Army for years and fought in the first Iraq War, and the trauma came home with him. He's learned to manage it, mostly, but some days still feel like combat.
And they call it PTSD. I didn't know what that was until pretty much recently, probably about 5 years ago.
People just didn't talk about it.
No, and I don't know. They say you have a problem. I don't have no problem.
But it did impact your life.
Yes.
Construction jobs disappeared, the rent went up, and the safety net, if there was one, never caught him.
Either I failed or society failed, but somebody failed, and that's the reason why I'm where I'm at.
For the next 25 years, Todd drifted between couches, camps, and empty lots. A veteran who couldn't find his footing in the country he once served. What was the hardest part?
Probably missing my kids, so yeah, still today, but I'm getting back with my family actually. A bad note, but my dad had a stroke, and so now my lady friend's taking me to California, so.
Jen.
Yeah, Jen. Yeah.
I mean, you're getting emotional over that. Are you just thinking about like your family and how your life has?
Yeah. It's been like 20 years since I've been around my family, so.
Your kids?
Everybody. I just released everybody. I just let them all go and just didn't make contact anymore.
Are you ready to repair those relationships now?
I'm scared.
Let's get the guitar, actually. As Todd wrestled with addiction, PTSD, and decades of homelessness, he held on to one thing, a beat-up guitar. The only thing that survived the twists and turns of his life. Just a few days after this interview, Todd did something he never thought he would. He packed a bag and drove to California with Jen. He saw his father for the first time in decades. After years of separation, he found his way home.
Wow. You show me a government program, a housing program, a food program, or work program that can produce a result like that. I've never seen it.
He hadn't until now. Stories like Todd's gave Greg Dufault a new way to define value, not in profits or projects, but in people, and that changed everything for him. The investor with a Porsche and a portfolio walked away from retirement, the golf, the travel, to give his time and his voice to Cultivate.
Hi, what's your name?
Felicia.
Felicia, how do you do? Welcome.
Welcome, thank you.
On this day, he's showing his friend Sam Hahn, now a potential donor, around the hub.
The trash that we're picking up is always attributed to the unhoused.
Right.
That's not true.
Right.
It's like way not true.
To Greg, this isn't charity, it's investment in people who prove that with purpose and support, transformation is possible. People like Jay, who spent 16 years homeless and addicted. Now he's a lead on the workforce support team. A difficult and dirty job, but it's making a huge impact. Last year, they picked up 1 million pounds of garbage.
I love this job. Yeah, I really am. Yeah, I really like it a lot. Yeah, I couldn't imagine doing anything else.
And Dahl, just 4'9", but a force. One of Cultivate's first hires, now the employment specialist.
It's awesome. It feels good. It feels good to see people change their lives. Cultivate changed my life for reals. And I now have the opportunity to change others, and that's what I'm trying to do.
That spirit runs through every part of Cultivate's work. The shower and hygiene program, on the road 6 days a week, delivering hot showers, laundry services, and free clothing and supplies across East Portland. Is there one particular thing that you guys are always like short on?
Men's pants.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sandra runs the show and Kat works alongside her, keeping the operation running. Kat, who still lives in a trailer on the side of the road, says Cultivate's energy is contagious.
It empowers you to want to be better and to do at least as good as you see them doing, you know what I mean? Because if they can do it, so can you.
Cultivate's impact is clear. The question now, how can they keep it going?
This isn't where we came from. We didn't start out in a building. We didn't start out with funding or grants. We literally started in a side yard around a bucket fire.
But when Caleb Coder looks ahead, he worries. Most of Cultivate's funding comes from government contracts, some tied to Metro's supportive housing services tax. The city and the county are both facing major shortfalls, and that regional tax is under pressure, with forecasts showing revenue could fall short by tens of millions. For Cultivate, that lifeline runs out in 2030, and beyond 2026, nothing is guaranteed. What happens if you lose a big chunk of that money? Could all this come crumbling down?
No, because we, at the end of the day, we're a group of people. And so we didn't start with the cubicles and the computers. We started with the people. And so will funding have an impact? Absolutely. Will it totally crush us? No, because we have a strong foundation that is scrappy and nimble.
My hope was the same as everyone's, that this would be a game-changing investment in our community.
Angela Martin is the executive director of Here Together, the coalition behind the supportive housing services measure. Are you happy with how those dollars are being used right now?
This isn't about blame, it's about alignment. And I am happy that I am seeing more alignment between nonprofit providers, county government, and other system leaders. We need to scale that up.
Martin says state and federal cuts and the fentanyl crisis have stretched resources thin, but public pressure is driving new accountability and slow, steady progress. Still, the need keeps growing.
Right now, we're currently dealing with somewhere around between 280, 300 people though that's onto the wait list right now.
What's happening at Cultivate is just a fraction of the need. Portland Mayor Keith Wilson says his plan to end unsheltered homelessness this year is meant to ease the burden on groups like Cultivate.
His staff and Caleb, they're overworked. They are tired. In 2017, we had 1,700 people living on the street. Today it's 7,500. Every year they see another 1,000 people added to their work list, and then the funding go down. They're asked to do more and more with less and less without outcomes being improved.
City and county leaders say they know the pressure nonprofits are under, and they're trying to target funding where it makes the biggest impact. Multnomah County Commissioner Vince Jones-Dixon served on Cultivate's board for 2 years. He says it's one of the reasons he ran for office. Are you worried about whether or not we're going to be able to sustain the funding that keeps these organizations going?
No, I'm excited because we get to prioritize the areas that we should be funding. So I'm not worried at all. Again, I continue to say we can't fix a secret. We need to identify the challenges and truly evaluate what's working and what's not working.
Up next on Beyond the Handout, life-changing news for the people at the heart of Cultivate. For Jen, a new struggle.
My son will graduate from high school in 11 years, and I don't want to not be here.
For Todd, an unexpected gift.
I'm shocked. No, I don't even know what to say. It's like...
And a moment of hope that brings the story full circle. You just found out. How are you processing this information?
Not well. Like a dull knife trying to cut carrots. Not real well.
Just a day before this interview, Jen got devastating news. She has blood cancer. She's terrified the stress could trigger a relapse, even more afraid she won't live to see her son Danny grow up.
At least now I know, no matter what, I'm doing something with my life that he can be proud of and say, Mom had a really bad choices in a lot of ways, but she finally got her act together, and now she was doing these great things to help people. And that's important to me, that at least I will have done something that he'll be proud of.
Even in heartbreak, there are moments that remind this team why they keep showing up.
We have an anonymous donor who is interested in getting you a new set of teeth, if you're interested.
Are you
in that.
no way?
Yeah.
I would love, no, it's beyond that. No, I need them badly.
Yeah?
Yes.
Sounds good?
Yes. No,
okay.
better than
They're
bad.
stoked.
After decades without a home and years hiding his smile, a gift is giving Todd something he never expected: confidence, dignity, and hope for what comes next.
They were nice to me though, because I got an apartment though from them. That's a trip. And now teeth. Holy. Oh, sand angel.
A few hours later, he couldn't hold it in. A celebration in the sand for a life finally taking shape.
My regret is I didn't start earlier.
Greg Dufault knows what it's like to lose everything. Years ago, he fought his own battles with addiction and homelessness. He rebuilt his life, retired, and found a new mission: helping others circle back. He believes real change starts when people see themselves in the story.
I believe that with all my heart and soul. And when that occurs, that's going to change the entire narrative of this problem right here in Portland, Oregon.
For founder Caleb Coder, that's the heart of Cultivate, a community that refuses to give up on anyone.
We're going to continue to dig into what works, and work works. Community works. Belonging, helping people be seen and heard and cherished. That works.
Leela just got housing after years of homelessness, a ring that echoes through every story here, a reminder that hope is not a handout, it's a hand up. From a bucket fire to a bell ring, Cultivate Initiatives shows what happens when community outlasts crisis. When one neighbor rises, the whole city grows stronger. This is what it means to go beyond the handout.